The night the sea began to sing, Sena couldn't sleep. The waves outside her window glowed with strange blue light, as if the stars had fallen into the water. Everyone in her village closed their doors, whispering about omens, but Sena felt a pull, like the tide itself was calling her name. She walked barefoot to the shore. The ocean was calm, yet alive. Tiny lights shimmered across the waves, and in their glow she saw faces. Not frightening ones, but familiar. Some were people she had lost, others she had only dreamed about. One of them whispered, "Come find what was never forgotten." Without thinking, Sena stepped into the water. It wasn't cold. It felt like silk, warm, soft, humming with energy. The stars beneath the surface began to swirl, forming a glowing path that stretched far beyond the horizon. She took a deep breath and followed it, the ocean parting around her like glass. After what felt like hours, she reached an island that wasn't on any map. Everything there shimmered faintly, trees made of translucent crystal, flowers that whispered lullabies, rivers that flowed backward into the clouds. At the center of the island stood a figure cloaked in liquid silver, holding a small bottle that glowed like a trapped constellation. "Welcome, dreamer," the figure said, its voice echoing like waves in a seashell. "You've entered the sea of fallen stars, where lost wishes drift until someone dares to remember them." Sena's eyes widened. "What are you?" "I am the keeper," the figure replied. "Every time someone gives up on a dream, it becomes a star that falls into this sea. But lately, the sea has been drowning in forgotten dreams. It's losing its light. You, who still remember wonder, can help me restore it." "How?" Sena asked. The keeper uncorked the glowing bottle. Inside it floated a tiny star, dim but flickering. "This one is yours," they said. "A wish you buried long ago." Sena peered inside and suddenly saw a younger version of herself standing in a storm, holding a lantern and whispering to the sky, "One day I'll see what lies beyond the horizon." She had forgotten that dream long ago, buried under years of routine and fear. Tears welled in her eyes. "Take it back," said the keeper. "To reignite the sea, you must remember who you were." Sena reached out. The moment she touched the star, warmth spread through her chest. Memories, laughter, even her failures, all blending together. The sea around her responded, glowing brighter, waves singing louder. But then dark shapes began to rise from the depths, shadowy creatures made of broken starlight. "The drowned doubts," said the keeper. "They feed on lost belief. Don't let them touch you." Sena stepped back as the shadows surrounded her, whispering her fears. "You don't belong here. You will fail again. No one remembers you." Her hands trembled, but the light from her star flared, and suddenly she remembered the stories she used to tell her little brother. Stories about courage that wasn't born from strength, but from trying even when afraid. She closed her eyes and whispered, "I still believe." The star burst into a brilliant flare. The shadows screamed, "Dissolve us into silver mist." The waves exploded with light, each one carrying 1,000 reborn stars into the sky. When the brightness faded, the keeper smiled gently. "The sea remembers now, because you remembered yourself." Sena looked down. Her hands glowed faintly, starlight swirling through her veins. "Will it last?" "For as long as someone dares to dream," said the keeper. "Go now. Others will need the light you carry." The sea began to rise again, cradling her in warmth. Before she knew it, she was standing back on the familiar shore, dawn breaking over the horizon. The village was quiet, the ocean was calm, but when she looked closely, tiny sparks of light still danced on the waves. Sena smiled. She picked up a seashell and whispered to it, "For the ones who still believe." The shell glowed faintly, echoing a distant song, the sound of the sea of falling stars. And every night after that, when she closed her eyes, the stars above seemed to shine a little brighter, as if thanking her for remembering them.